Let's evaluate the definite integral from 0 to pi over 4 of secant x times tangent cubed of x. Whenever we encounter integrals of powers of secant and tangent, we look for odd powers of tangent or even powers of secant. Now in this case, the power of secant is 1. That's odd, so that's not the case. But of course, the power of tangent is 3, and it is odd. And that's the way we're going to attack this problem. Let's put aside the 0 and the pi over 4 and find the indefinite integral of secant of x times tangent cubed of x. So we have power of tangent is odd. We're going to separate one of the tangents and write this as secant x times tangent x times tangent squared x. So now we separated one tangent and we have an even power of tangent squared remaining. So we're going to use the trig identity tan squared x equals to secant squared x minus 1 to rewrite tangent squared right here as secant squared minus 1. The integral looks like this: secant x tangent x times secant squared x minus 1 dx. And now we'll use regular u substitution and let u be secant of x. Du is secant x tangent x dx. And the integral becomes secant x tangent x dx is du, u squared minus 1 du. So of course this is 1/3 u cubed minus u. Now we could return back to secant of x, which is what u is, or since we have a definite integral, we note that when x is equal to 0, secant of 0 is 1, so u is going to be 1. And when x equals pi over 4, secant of pi over 4 is, it's the reciprocal of cosine of pi over 4, which is square root of 2 over 2. So secant of pi over 4 is going to be 2 divided by the square root of 2, which is square root of 2. And so our integral that we were evaluating, the definite integral from 0 to pi over 4 of secant of x times tangent cubed of x, is now, using the substitution u equals to secant x, is 1/3 u cubed minus u evaluated from u equals 1 to u equals to square root of 2. We don't have to go back to x if we don't want to. So now plugging in square root of 2 for u, we have 1/3 2 square root of 2 goes in for u. That's the same as 2 to the 1/2, so that's 2 to the 3/2 minus 2 to the 1/2, which is square root of u, minus, plugging in 1, we have 1/3 minus 1. So the answer is 1/3 2 to the 3/2 minus 2 to the 1/2, and then minus a minus, that will be plus 2/3. And if we want a common denominator will be 3. So we have 2 to the 3/2 minus 3 times 2 to the 1/2, which we can write as the square root of 2 plus 2. And that's